Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Let's begin today's daily quiz with question number 1 on your screen now. The recently inaugurated Nadabet Indo-Pak Border Darshan project is a pilot project of which of the following states or union territories? Is it Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, Gujarat or Punjab? The correct answer here is C, Gujarat. It is the Gujarat government that has recently inaugurated the Nadabet Indo-Pak Border Darshan project. Under this project, a tourist would be invited to visit the Indo-Pak border that is handled by the BSF right now. The Gujarat government's tourism department and the border security forces together have collaborated for this project. The tourists will get acquainted with the stories of the BSF personnel and also engage in a number of sports and recreational activities. This was inaugurated recently by the Union Home Minister who visited Gujarat for this inauguration. This project is just a few kilometers away from the India-Pak international border. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements. Number 1. India is a member of the World Intellectual Property Organization, a body responsible for the promotion of the protection of intellectual property rights throughout the world. Second, the National Intellectual Property Rights Policy 2016 was adopted in May 2016 as a vision document to guide future developments of IPRs in the country. Third, the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, that is DIPP, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, has been appointed as a nodal department to coordinate, guide, and oversee the implementation and future development of IPRs in India. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. All the three given statements with respect to the IPR, that is intellectual property rights, are correct. The reason why we're discussing this question is because you would have read in the international media that the famous musician Ed Sheeran has recently won his case that was with regards to copyright issues on one of his most famous songs, that is The Shape of. Now, as per the ruling given by the UK High Court, they have ruled in favor of the British singer. This issue goes back to 2017 when he released his song, soon after which he was accused that he had copied the lyrics of his song from a 2015 song that was called Oh Why. Now, in simple terms, copyright is one of the most important rights that a musician can hold, which allows them to safeguard their own creation. It is a bundle of rights that are given to a creator right from the point of the creation. It gives the original expression of an idea and gives the creator exclusive economic rights over the reproduction, distribution, broadcasting, or adaptation of his original work. It also deals with literary, dramatic, and musical works, which are also covered under the patent law of the respective nations. Now, while this particular issue is not of that much significance to us, but we do need to know where India as a country stands with respect to the IPR rights, and that is why this question is significant. Next, question number 3. Arrange the following states in the decreasing order of the length of their coastlines: West Bengal, Gujarat, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. You have to arrange them in the decreasing order of the length of their respective coastlines in the country. The correct answer here is C. That is, Gujarat amongst these states has the largest coastline by far, followed by Tamil Nadu, then we have Kerala, and then we have the state of West Bengal. The reason why we are discussing this question is because of this report in the Hindu newspaper today, according to which the West Bengal coast has faced the most erosion in the last year. This was a response given by the Ministry of Earth Sciences in the Parliament this week when a question was asked about the coastal erosion in the country. This article tells us that the state of West Bengal has a coastline of about 534 km. Then we have Kerala with a coastline of 592 km. Then Tamil Nadu has a coastline of 991 kilometers, and then Gujarat with the longest coastline of 1945.6 kilometers in the country. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to the Border Security Force, that is the BSF. Number 1. The BSF works under the administrative control of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Second, earlier, the BSF's limit was fixed up to 80 km from the international boundary in Gujarat and 15 km in Rajasthan, Punjab, West Bengal, and Assam. Third, in October 2021, the Ministry of Home Affairs enhanced the arrest, search, and seize powers of the BSF up to 50 km from the international boundary in Punjab, West Bengal, and Assam. Means increase it from 15 to 50 in these states. Fourth statement, in Gujarat, the limit was reduced from 80 to 50 And in Rajasthan, the 50-kilometer limit has remained unchanged. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. All the four given statements about the powers and control of the BSF are absolutely true. If you remember, when the limit of the BSF jurisdiction was increased in certain states such as Punjab, West Bengal, and Assam, it led to a lot of protests, especially because Punjab and West Bengal are handled by parties which are opposite to the BJP that controls the central government. And that is why it became a part of the debate. The reason why we are discussing this question is because of the article that is given in the Hindu newspaper today, according to which the new jurisdiction of the BSF is 50 kilometer in most of the states, and the BSF team has utilized that. They entered about 15 kilometers from the border to seize illegal cattle that was being smuggled out of the state of Assam. All the details that are asked in the question are given in this article and you can read it very carefully. Next, we have a previous year question from 2020. Consider the following statements. Number 1. According to the Constitution of India, a person who is eligible to vote can be made a minister in a state for 6 months even if he or she is not a member of the legislature of that state. Second, according to the RPA 1951, a person convicted of a criminal offence and sentenced to imprisonment for 5 years is permanently disqualified from contesting an election even after his release from the prison. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. Both the given statements are wrong. The first is wrong because of a very simple reason. You become an eligible voter in India if you have touched the age of 18 years. So let's assume you're 19 years old. That means you are a voter. But you still cannot be eligible to be a member of parliament or member of legislative assembly or council, because for that the minimum age to enter Lok Sabha is 25. The minimum age to enter Rajya Sabha is 30. So even when you become a voter at 19, 20 or 21, you still cannot hold a minister's post because for that the minimum age has to be 25 years. The second is also wrong because there is no provision like that in the RPA. The RPA 1951 says that if you are sentenced for 2 or more years in jail, then you will be disqualified from contesting the elections during your jail term plus 6 more years. So it's not a lifetime disqualification, it is just for your jail term plus 6 more years. And that is why both first and the second statements are wrong. The correct answer here is D. Next, we have a fact of the day, and today we will be discussing about the cash withdrawals from the ATM through UPI without using any card. As you know, the RBI has recently proposed to make cardless cash transactions facility available at all the ATMs across the country, irrespective of whichever bank owns that ATM. It will be done through the UPI facility. Now, although the RBI has not disclosed any details about how this will turn into a reality, however, multiple sources are saying that ATMs would soon show an option to withdraw cash using the UPI. Once you opt for that option, you will have a QR code on the ATM machine. You can scan that code on your UPI app, enter the PIN, using which the ATM will then dispense the cash that you require. As per the Reserve Bank of India, this would further increase the security of such transactions in the ATMs. At the moment, only a few banks such as the ICICI, Kotak Mahindra, HDFC and SBI allow their users to withdraw cash from their ATMs without a card. This was mainly done during the COVID-19 pandemic, but it is still a very cumbersome process, since the users have to install specific apps of their banks, then select the option of the cardless cash withdrawal on the app, so on and so forth. But with the UPI, the process will become much more seamless. Also, it is expected that there would be certain limits to such transactions, and there would also be a service fee charged on the customer if he or she makes the transactions using the UPI without any card. It is expected that it would further reduce the usage of the debit cards, which are anyways on a decline, with an increasing usage of the credit cards across the society. This is it for today's daily quiz video. Thank you so much for watching.